Hi book babes, my name is Ainsley and welcome to my library. For today's video, we are going to be going over all of the books that I want to read this summer. My summer TBR. I am so excited. Summer is my favorite time of year. I love summer. I'm a summer girly. Summer, summer, summer. I love it. Last summer I read 23 books and I do my calculations of summer reading from Memorial Day weekend all the way to Labor Day. So those 3 full months of just summer reading. End of June to end of September, heck no. If you ask me, every single season should be moved a month forward. I understand it's seasonal based on certain things in the world, but if you ask me, based on the vibes, it should be adjusted to a month sooner. Sue me for saying that. I have a feeling I am going to want to be reading a lot of books. I've noticed such an increase in my audiobook listening and my physical reading simply because my grief is so big and I just want to escape it. And one of my best and most favorite ways of doing so is by reading. So I really do feel like this summer I'm going to be reading a lot of books. Because the person I did a lot of summer activities with was my mom, and now that I don't have her, I kind of just, it's just going to be really hard. For today's video, when I click on a summer TBR video, I'm expecting only romance because I feel like summer is the perfect time to read romance books. I think romance is a genre that you can read year round. There's some that you just don't hit in the summer as if they would a different season. I am such a mood reader, so sorry if you're not a mood reader. I'm probably not a booktuber for you because I just go off my mood so heavily. Last summer was the first time I had ever read a fantasy book during a summer season, and it changed my brain chemistry to where I realized that reading fantasy books on the beach is actually something that I enjoy a lot. I have split this video into 3 parts. The first part is going to be physical romance books that I want to read. The next one is going to be romance books that I want to read, but I'll most likely be reading them in audiobook format. And then the third one is fantasy, thrillers, and classics that I want to read. So let's get started. So to start us off on my physical TBR, we'll do the 2 books that I want to do because I didn't get to them in spring and I really want to read them. And that is Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young and Next of Kin, also by Hannah Bonham Young. And I am so excited to read these 2 books. They sound so good. I really wanted to read them in the spring. Since evaded me, my bad. But I do still really want to read these. We are following Sarah and Caleb. If you read Out on a Limb, these are the 2 best friends that she has in that book. So we are just following them, rekindling their marriage, finding their spark again. And they go on this wilderness counselor marriage retreat type thing and end up restoring their relationship through this camp. So I'm excited. We already know them. I think it's very rare that romances cover a existing relationship and refinding that spark and connection. So I'm very excited to read this. I don't think I've ever read a book that we're following a couple that's already married, that's already been together for years. Because if I remember correctly, yes, they're high school sweethearts. So they have literally done life together basically. And we're getting to see them just reconnect. Next of Kin, because if you guys know me, then you guys know that foster care is so heavily on my heart. Adoptions, fostering, just kids having stable and loving homes. I want to read every single book about that because it's just beautiful. But in this book, we are following Chloe and Warren. Chloe is wanting to get, I want to make sure I'm saying this right. Yes, Chloe's birth mother had another baby and she wants to become the next of kin guardian for that baby. And then we have Warren, who is trying to get custody of his younger brother who is deaf and 15 years old. And they actually have a program where two prospective guardians join households to qualify. So Chloe on her own doesn't qualify, Warren on his own doesn't qualify, but if they join this program and combine households, then both Chloe and Warren will get approved to become next of kin guardians, which would mean that Warren's younger brother and Chloe's new baby get to live with them. So I am all for children staying with their families, and I think this is just going to be a beautiful story of that. So I'm excited. Guys, it is not July if I am not reading a Sarah Adams book. Every single summer for the past 4 years, I have read, this will be my 4th summer of me reading a Sarah Adams book in July. That is how it always is. I hope that never changes. So of course I have Beg, Borrow, or Steal that I'm going to be reading this July. I actually do a 24-hour readathon every single July 3rd. So obviously this will be one of the books that you guys can look forward to watching because it's going to be so good. So we're following Emily Walker, and she is the second sister of, was his name Noah? Of Noah from When in Rome. Okay, this is the 3rd book in a series. You don't technically have to read them in chronological order. I recommend that you do. But in this book, we are following Emily and Jack. They are both school teachers. However, it's summer. I know that this book came out in January, and I bought this book in January because I wanted Sarah Adams to get on the bestseller list for the book. So I bought this book in January, but I was told that they are teachers, but this book takes place on their summer break. So I'm very excited. I wanted to save this because it's a summary book, and I wanted to save it. Basically, Emily and Jack are both going through like difficult various seasons of their life, and Emily accidentally forwards something to her school principal that will show that she's not, it just doesn't line up with the morals that you would expect of an elementary school teacher, and basically if it gets out, her job might be at stake. So we're kind of just following Emily and Jack as they try to just erase the principal's stuff from ever seeing what she does. Next, I have The Burnout by Sophie Kinsella, and I am so excited. I loved the Shopaholic series from Sophie Kinsella. She just has a way of writing like light and fluffy, like comical characters. I love her writing style. It's always just so cozy and so easy to step into. But in this book, we're following Sasha, and Sasha is going through a professional burnout right now. Amidst this burnout, she decides to go to this seaside resort that she went to as a child growing up, but she doesn't go during the summer season. She goes whenever it's like off season, like summer has just ended, and she just flees there, and she finds that the resort and the hotel are kind of in shambles, and it's basically only her and this other guy that are like vacationing there. And they obviously end up falling in love, and she just kind of reignites the spark that she has for her job and for life. Next up, we have While We're Young by K.L. Walther. She wrote my favorite book, which is The Summer of Broken Rules. That book is so fun. I actually would love to reread that book this summer because it's been 2 summers since I read it, and it was so good that first time. It also had sprayed edges, which look so fun to me. But in this book, we're following 3 best friends, Grace, Isa, and Everett. They used to be a really, really close trio. Obviously, being in high school, a lot of things pull you in different directions. So they're kind of all 3 going in their own separate, distinct ways. And they kind of just decide, let's have one final senior skip day. And this is it. We're literally following their senior skip day. Then I have Room Hate by Penelope Ward. I'm really excited for this one because the sprayed edges are so cute. Like, look at that. So we are following Amelia, and Amelia's grandma ends up passing away. But what's really awesome is Amelia gets her grandma's house. However, there was kind of like a little clause in the will, and she only gets half of the beach house. The other half of the beach house is going to one of the boys that she helped raise named Justin. And so it's summertime. Justin and Amelia move in together, and they were each other's first love. It ended in a bad way. So now she's not only living with a boy who hates her, but she's having to deal with grieving her grandma. and I think it's gonna be a really really good book. But they don't get along well, so it's like Second Chance and Enemies to Lovers. Now I'm gonna move us into the audiobook portion of this video. Now I want to be clear, I own the physical copies of all these books because a lot of times whenever I'm reading an audiobook, I also like to just like flip through my page, so I'll do that. But these books are ones that I could find on my Cloud Library app, and they're also ones that seem the most fun for me to just like listen to whenever I walk, because I walk my dog a lot. So this will be fun for me to listen to while me and my dog are exercising or while I'm walking to the beach, you know, just whatever I'm doing. These just seem to be really, really fun books that I can listen to. So the first one is Funny Story by Emily Henry. I am always a year behind in her releases. Like Happy Place was released 2 years ago. I read it last year. Like I just am on top of being late for her books. I also love The Spine.
Relationship. Boys, girls. They're dating. The boy goes for this girl. And so as a joke, the boy from this relationship and the girl from this relationship are like, would you get me? Would you get it together? So while they're legitimately dating, we have these two that are communicating and like kind of like low-key falling in love.
So the book is following these two. Did that make sense? It's funny. I like that alone, me trying to explain what the book is about is funny. Next up is Deepen by Ali Hazelwood. Again, look at these sprayed edges, y'all. They literally are stepping up. Like, are you kidding me? That's stunning. That's beautiful. So in this book, we have a competitive diver and a competitive swimmer who are falling in love. They are both chasing their dreams of being Olympians, and something about Olympic sports or just like sport books in general, I'm not talking about hockey romances. I'm talking about like Olympic ice skating, Olympic tennis players, Olympic swimming, like Olympic or very serious athletes. Books about that, I devour. There's something about reading a book about very disciplined, goal-oriented people that I love, because I am not involved in sports per se, but I love reading about their drive and their passion for their sport. Anyways, I'm getting off the edge. But yeah, they basically just like partner up together to like try to like help each other out, cool off some steam and stuff, and yeah, things end up getting more serious and they start dating, and hopefully they get to go to the Olympics. Sounds fun. Next is Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Baston. I recently read one of her books, which was, this is it right here. I recently read Ready or Not by her. Look at how pretty her covers are. Are you kidding me? But I read this book. I gave it 3.75. Actually, I should have given it a 4 because this book was really, really good. But so basically I saw this book and I went, slay, this book was good. I'll buy this one. That was where my heart was, genuinely. And then I read the back, and the back is so good. We are following Lenny, and Lenny's best friend just died. Y'all, my mom just died. And she wasn't just my mom. My mom was my best friend. So I feel like already from page 1, Lenny and I get each other in a way that I wish I didn't, basically. But also, it gets better. She starts nannying for a girl, and what's the little girl's name? Ainsley. What's my name? Ainsley. Her name is spelled wrong, but that's okay. So I'm going to read it. I have my first summer of grief, and she's doing it with me. Slay. Oh, but the uncle of the girl that she's nannying and her start getting really close, and they like low-key fall in love. Next is Primetime Romance by Kate Robb. This book seems so good. We are following Bryn, and she is turning 30, recently divorced, really not in the mood to fall in love, which I totally understand. And basically, the only thing getting her through right now is binging a teenage soap opera called Carson's Cove. And something happens. All she knows is the next morning she wakes up. She's not in her apartment. She is actually on the soap opera Carson's Cove. She's like a new character. So it is just navigating that, trying to get home, falling in love, opening up her heart again. It sounds so good. Next is Summer in the City by Alex Astor. Again, y'all, these sprayed edges. And not only that, look at this. Is this not stunning too? I feel like I'm holding artwork. Like all literature is art. It's aesthetically pleasing to me. So it's not only intellectual art, but it's visible art. I'm obsessed. Okay, I just read the synopsis and what I said was wrong, but it was right, but it's wrong. So what happened, that is correct. That did happen. They did have a they don't get along. And then the next, and then two, and I'm going to read it and I'll let you know my thoughts because I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now. Okay, for the last part of this, now we're in like the fantasy section of the video, or not even fantasy, but I should say like every other genre that's not romance. So starting up, we have sci-fi, which is Red Rising. I am on page 60 right now. It's going pretty smooth. I like it. My dad and I were doing this for our daddy-daughter book club, and he finished the book in January. I clearly suck at being a daughter because I am only 60 pages in, but yeah, I'm gonna read that book. I promise, Dad. Then I really want to finish Onyx Storm. I literally have maybe 200 pages left. I can't bring myself to finish it because the thought of being away from those characters breaks my heart. I literally have been slowly reading a chapter like every single month. I'm in my sad girl era. Also, whenever I started Onyx Storm, my mom died like a week later, and I obviously was not in the mood to read, so that kind of just threw me off so badly. So yeah. Next up, I want to read the Prison Healer trilogy. I heard a lot of things about this book is like very fall-esque, but it seems really good. I feel like I'd get a lot out of it in the summer as well, so I'm excited for that. It just seems so good. Basically, are following, her name's Kiva. She has spent the last 10 years fighting for survival in this notorious death prison. So yeah. However, then we have this rebel queen who's captured, and Kiva needs to keep her alive, but the queen is terminally ill. And Kiva's family sent her a note saying don't let her die. Basically, in this death prison, your punishment is to go through a trial, and this terminally ill queen is too ill to go through the trial and come out living. So Kiva says, I'll go through the trial for her, and if I win it, then you have to let this prisoner go. But no one's ever survived the trials before, which is why it's called the death prison. Like, you literally go to prison, you try to complete these trials, you don't win, so you die. Like, maybe we should do that here. I don't know, just a thought. But yeah, basically we're just following Kiva going through the whole bunch of trials, and I'm guessing she lives because there's 2 more books to read after that. So I decided I'm going to do this with my friend for our book club. She doesn't know it yet, but I decided that we're going to do it, so hopefully we do. Next up, I want to read Wuthering Heights and The Secret Garden. I just read The Favorites by Lane Fargo, and I've never read Wuthering Heights before, so I didn't realize this, but after I wrote my review and I was reading other reviews, a lot of people said that it was a very good retelling of Wuthering Heights, and I obviously, having not read, I didn't pick up on that at all, but I love The Favorites. I gave it 5 stars. I finished it this morning. It was phenomenal. So I want to read this book now and just dive back into a world that's similar. I'm assuming we're not following Olympic ice skaters, but I think in terms of the toxicity of the relationship and all of that, I think that is the retelling push. I don't know, but I'm excited. And I want to read The Secret Garden because my mom loved The Secret Garden and she always wanted me to read it. This is like decor for my house. But y'all, that is it for my TBR. So many good books are on this list. I can't wait. I am currently in the process of filming a reading vlog, and the books in that video I guess are technically going to be considered part of my summer TBR because it's summer now, so I have to include them. Yeah, if you want to see me read these books and do some fun challenges around them and reading them, stay tuned. I'm very excited, and I will see you guys later. Bye.